Peace be to you. This is Omar Abdul-Malik, physician assistant and health educator. So I am back at it. I did, if you've been following me, I did the marathon, the rock and roll marathon here in DC, March 9th? March 9th. And I'm still extremely sore, which I guess it's an age thing. But I wanted to talk, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk to you guys about, for those of you guys that are applying to your prospective programs, whether that's med school or PA school, nursing school, nurse practitioner, whatever you're doing, what to do if you don't get into your school, your program. And that is, I would say, number one, don't be too chagrined. You know, things happen for whatever reason. It's very interesting. I was looking at this documentary about affirmative action and racial quotas and there's lawsuits. So people are saying they didn't get in because of that. That's something I addressed partially in the last video. But there's also, maybe you just weren't a good enough applicant compared to the people who applied with you. So you have to reassess your goals. So don't give in to despair, number one. I'd say trust in your creator. I didn't get into med school and it turned out to be a blessing. That was like 25 years ago. It's another story. But you know, you want to reassess why you didn't get in. Don't let that be a reflection of who you are as a person. And you can also go back and ask the program admissions committee members or whoever did your interview. Let's say it's for a PA school. Whoever did your interview, you ask them why you didn't get in. You know, that's a fair question. Be respectful. But you know, there's a difference between, oh, I just want to know why I didn't get in versus, yo, I want to know why I didn't get in. It's all about intonation. But you know, query as to what were the limiting factors, or in chemistry, the rate limiting factors, as we say, that made it so that you were not accepted to that program. It could be GPA, it could be your admission scores, like your GREs, it could be the number of direct patient contact hours that you didn't do. Sometimes it's things for which you can't control. When I applied to med school like years ago, I was told that it was a record number of applicants. It was like 7,000 applicants for 110 spots, and I just wasn't good enough to get in, you know, with the scores I had, and that's fine. I'll do another video about that in the future, Lord willing, inshallah. But you know, ask the admissions committees, you know, what are things that you can do to make yourself a stronger applicant the following year. I had people when they didn't get into PA school, they were coming to me like grown men, like literally with tears in their eyes. Like, they didn't let me in. I don't understand. I had all these credentials and qualifications. It's like, look, it's not up to you. It's up to them. They're the ones that are admitting people. Yeah, so you got to be humble also. But you know, try to find out, do your research on yourself, and try to meet the challenge of overcoming those. You know, if it was your GPA, you may have to take other courses to boost your GPA up. I mean, that's what I did. I spent an extra year in undergraduate taking courses, some upper level sciences, to get my GPA up. And it, you know, because my GPA was quite mediocre. I took a review course. If you're taking the GREs, you could take a you know, Kaplan, Princeton. There's a lot of good programs out there. It's going to cost you, but you got to decide. You know, if studying by yourself didn't work out, you know, you may need an actual professionally structured program. You may need a mentor who's doing what you want to do. Like if it's med school, maybe this guy, Dr. Andre Pineset, you know, is me for PA school. You know, find somebody who can really look at your transcripts objectively, because they're not necessarily on the admissions committee, and someone in whom you can confide to say, hey, look, I'm laying all the proverbial cards out on the table. Here's my GPA, my scores. Here's stuff that I felt in which I excelled. Here's some things that I felt that I could work upon. What do you think? And that person can kind of guide you and say, okay, look, you need to work on this, tweak this, you know, work on your presentation if you're fortunate enough to get an interview. And that's how you get better. And that's the mature thing to do, because let me tell you something. Once you guys get out of school, especially you PA students, and you got your resumes, and you're expecting that, you know, you passed your pants, and you're expecting that $100,000 a year starting salary with no experience. You know, a lot of you guys are going to get turned down, and they're going to think, all this hard work, my student loans have kicked in, you know, and I can't seem to get hired. Well, there's things that you need to work on, but this is, you know, maybe that experience of not getting into school the first time will help you. Yeah, so there's a very large psychological component. God, I'm still sore. There's a kind of lost conditioning. There's a large psychological component to not getting in to the program of your choice. That you've got to be mature enough to meet the challenge of that. What else can I say about that? I kind of liken everything to a marathon, because that's what I do, and I believe that a marathon is an analogy, great analogy for our lives. I ran an hour slower, more than an hour slower than I intended to. I wanted to get a 2:59.59 in the marathon. I ran a 4:11, and I look back. There were a lot of things that I did right. I lost 20 pounds. I went from 170, a potato chip, cake and soda, cake and potato chip eating, soda drinking, 170 pound guy, to a svelte 150 pounds. And it took me about a year, a little more, yeah, about a year to do that. I did my long runs, my sprints, my hill charges. But there's things that I should not have done. I should not have done back-to-back super long runs of 20 plus miles, you know, a month before the marathon. I shouldn't have rode my bike to work because it's 22 miles, you know, a week before the marathon. So my legs were dead by the time I got to the marathon. So you can say those are excuses, but I think those are factors. So you got to look at what were the factors that may have contributed to you not getting in to the school your choice, UPA school students in particular. I try to eschew talking about other programs. I'm not a doctor. I did apply to med school, didn't get in. I was a nursing student, so I talk a little bit about that. But I'm a physician assistant and a health educator. I held faculty positions. I was on admissions committees. So I know what I'm talking about from that perspective. So, you know, I hope you guys heed my advice. And feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I can be reached on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I wish you guys the best of success in your positive endeavors. For UPA students, I will look over your personal statements for your CASPA application if you want. And for those of you guys that are in the DC area, I've arranged with a doctor so that you can shadow me in his clinic. Okay guys, take care. Peace.